God knows what. Oh, yeah. I'll try to catch up with him, too. He never comes in class anymore. Let me see if he's awake. Cool. Yeah, so, yeah, November would be a good time. If anybody else wants to pop by, the crib, you can come with if Mr. Craig and Cody are coming in November, Carrie, if you want to pop by and have a boys' weekend, you do that. All right, what's going on, everybody? How's everybody doing? Oh, yeah, oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Good, 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 good. Hey, Claudia, what's up? Bonsi, hello. William, my friend. What's up, everybody's? All right, cool, man. Well, let's take a look and see what's going on. All right. So, Mark had that kind of a little bit of a fade-off end of day yesterday. Hey, Billy. Mr. Brown, how are you, by the way? Good to see you. The market had, a little bit of fade-off yesterday due to, the Federal Reserve raising interest rates. It's like 0.25%, which probably doesn't mean anything. But the short-term reaction was dump the market, and they did. So there was a little bit of weakness, but we're starting to climb back. Overall, the structure of the market is still the same, right? Like we're sitting there on a ton of support. We're still in a bull market. We've been riding up that 50 SMA, all that kind of fun stuff. So don't see much wrong with it. Like, yeah, we had that end of the day dump, but we're already starting to climb back. That does happen a little bit after the FOMC, which happens, once a month? Always happens a little bit after FOMC. You get either a spike or a fade, and it's kind of a short-term reaction to whatever the news is, but in general, it doesn't have really much impact on the overall market as of the moment. Who knows how it impacts the market long-term. So, SPY, same type of deal. We're sitting on some support here. We're already kind of climbing our way back up. Watch this kind of breakout spot. We did break a little bit of support here. So if you're looking at like your hourly chart, we did come back to a little bit of levels here. So, we'll have to be careful to, not let this thing come back too far because we did close under that 20 SMA. And if we take out this support right here, we could very well kind of drift down a little bit and test the 50 SMA, which we haven't done since July. Something that, we have to be aware of. Remember, markets don't go up forever, but, we don't have really any inclination that it's going to come crashing down either. So, we trade what we see. And there's some good IPOs out that are coming out today. So keep a couple of these on your list, too. They won't show up on TC2000 just yet, but there's STRO, RVN, Europe. They won't have any charts yet. And I believe RMAD, that's been one of the things that we've been trading really well this year, right, is the IPOs. They usually open midday, so just put them on your list. When you start to see them trade, start looking for the patterns in them. If you don't understand which patterns to trade on the IPOs, because obviously there's no chart, look up I think it's on YouTube. There's a video we did on QTT. I think I just posted like 2-3 days ago. That'll kind of give you a good inkling on how to trade IPOs that don't have any price data, right? So you just got to wait for really the first price pattern. Probably my favorite gapper for today is this ALNY. This thing is kind of busting down some big supports over here. You can already see, like pre-market, you got a $10 range on this thing. It should have some decent liquidity on it. Obviously, this thing's been like a huge turd for the last, really the last few months. Finally, it's making a decision to kind of break under that support that it's been holding for a long time. I think this one may have some room to go today. As long as it kind of holds under this 90, we'll start looking for intraday patterns and stuff like that on there. So this one, because it moves fast, we'll be looking to hit this one real quick for ORB. So, watch this one for ORB because this one will move fast. And what happens with some of these biotechs, they use up a good chunk of their range at the open. And so, you got to really trade them fast within that kind of first 15-30 minutes and then see what happens, especially if the SSR gets triggered on this bad boy. Second one is this AAOI. You're starting to kind of break under this 30 support here. The one worry with this one, you know, it gets hard to borrow at times. So I'd call your broker, right? Check the borrows on that bad boy. See if you even have them. I got to check too right now. But it should be, you know, it should have enough liquidity and be able to be borrowed. But the float on it's just kind of small. Now that it's been going down so much, the market cap's just gone to shit, right? So it's basically gone from, you know, like a $5 billion company to, you know, $600 million company. So liquidity's dried up a little bit, but you definitely got some room to fall here. This one too, we'll be watching this one out of the gate, so I keep an eyeball on that one. GWPH is starting to move around pre-market a little bit here. It looks like, you know, something happened. They start shredding this thing for about 10 bucks. Pre-market, this support's been holding. Watch this level over here. If it breaks over that 174, then we'll want to start taking this thing for some intraday setups. Anything under 174, I'm not taking it for day trade, right? So if you start to see it form, you start to see an ORB, a flag pattern, something like that, but it's just it's at 170, then it's not going to have the juice to break out over 175. What we need to see is the pattern start to form where the inflection point is on the daily chart, right? So give me that Sabra, Suas, right? Where's the inflection point on the daily chart? Right? So we're not going to take this thing till we get over here. What's up all day, all right? What's going on? Alexan, Wooba, Cassia, how you doing, darling? So that's how you kind of want to manage this thing. Yeah, IDC looks all right. The daily chart sucks on it, though. Let me see. Anthony. The problem, yeah, this thing's going to have the range on it. The daily chart stinks, but who knows? You might start to see this. Richie, I know you're looking at this too. You know, you may see this thing kind of run back to 5. One thing to remember is that it will pop and drop really fast. So, like, if you're going to trade something like an IGC, you know, you got to be careful. Like, you know, this thing could rip up here, and then next thing you know, it's down $1. You got a couple thousand shares of this thing, and now you're like, dude, how did I lose $1,000 on a $3 stock, right? So, just something to kind of keep in mind of. These ones that kind of are a little bit long in the tooth are always a little bit more dangerous than like when you first start a trend and you're on like a day 1 or a day 2, you know, things of that nature. So just kind of keep an eye on that one. This BBW, BBY, what do we got here? So this one's kind of breaking under a bear flag over here. It's been a really long-term bear flag, long-term bear trend anyway. You're already starting to see this thing kind of shred pre-market lows. Man, I was hoping this thing would kind of hang out over here so we could really shred this thing right out of the gate. I keep an eye on this one too for opening range setup. One caveat on this one is that these gap down plays that, you know, we always look for, they have not been working as well probably the last 2-3 months as they were like 6 months ago or even a year ago. It's just the structure of the market. The market right now has been just so fire that, you know, a lot of the gap down plays, they're popping for like one candle at the open, then they start to work their way back, and then they fizzle out later in the day. And so, like, sometimes if you just get too hot and heavy at the open, you try to shred something like this. See, this one's going to have the SSR on it. You know, it may shred at the open probably for the first 5-10 minutes, and then we're often seeing like nice pops. So then watch the pop towards the 9 EMA, and we don't have a 9 EMA obviously just yet. Watch the pop that 9 EMA and start to see if it starts to round, right? If you start to see it round, then that's where, you know, you want to go. Like NTNX the other day, right? This is kind of what's been happening with these kind of gap down short. So you get the gap down, and then they don't shred right off at the bat at the open. And then what they do is they start to squeeze. If that SSR's on, then they tap into that 9, and they start to just round, and then you kind of come back down. And so, like, you want to take the short into that rounding thing to kind of get, and they're still not following through. You're getting, like, you know, you might get a couple bucks out of it or something like that, but definitely not anything too rowdy. This Leo is not my type of play. I don't believe. Look at the candles on this thing. See these spaces here? To me, that means like there's no, there's actually no trading being taken in place on it. So not for me personally. But I mean, I see how, I know that people like these type of setups, right? Where you can kind of rubber band them up. For me, it's just a little bit different, right? It's like I trade my best when I have hot volume, right? Like 10 million, 15 million, 20 million, shit like that. That's my, my style of trading. I want to see something like this. Like we had this ALDX yesterday, right? Like I want to see that float low, but I want to see that volume like really, really kind of come in and pump in, and right, we want to be able to get in and out easily because we're day traders, right? So as day traders, liquidity is everything. If we can't get liquid, we can't dump the stock in at a moment's notice. What are we going to do, right? CMTL. So check this out. Man, this one's it's got to hang out below this. If it gets below 32, I do think we got room back down to 29. It looks like, it's had some earnings out, but sales missed estimates, blah, 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 blah. As long as it can hang out under here, we can start looking at this thing for a little orb life and hit that ORB and get this thing down over to the 29. On the non-PR side, right, just like your regular old technical setups, this Goose Island is looking nice, right? It's Canada's finest. We've got a multi-test breakout over here, 28 million share flow. You can see like you got 1 test, 2 tests, 3 tests, and it's been consolidating since its earnings in June. So the earnings came out in June. The damn thing popped up so high on earnings, right, that it just started to go sideways and congesting and consolidating and building energy. Now this thing is starting to rip over that 60 spot. That's pretty nice, right? So, overall, that one's got a lot of juice to it. We'll watch this one for a red to green today. If it opens up strong, then we'll just go ORB, quick pullback buy at it. Add a little dust bunny to the list. I think, man, it's already fucking taken off. Bastard. Dust bunny's got this nice, it's had a nice trend. Came back down to support here. You could see like the support, like it just held at that 35. That's like a good swing trade setup for some of you guys, right? Held at this 35, and then now you're starting to get this rounding action, and now you're breaking over these kind of MAs over here. The Dust Bunny in general has like a nice range to it, so something to kind of keep an eye on. This ACHV is, this could be like kind of one of the little penny movers for today. Obviously, it's just a huge turd. It's a hoe, but we'll take this one for maybe some day trades off the bat on the ORB. So we'll kind of keep an eye on that one too. That one looks pretty good. I'd keep it on the list, see what's going on. One thing with this thing is, right, it may just pop right out of the gate, but sometimes they just roll back over. So that's just one of the natures of the game on this one. A lot of guys ask about AMRN, man. This thing's just been grinding higher. It's been tough to trade. Like, yeah, it's been just range life really for a little bit of time now. So we'll see which way it breaks. It's been fooling a lot of people, man. Every time it looks weak, it just kind of pops back up. I shorted it yesterday, and it was like, came down for like 30 cents, and then whoop, it was right back up, and fucking, what are you going to do? This Elon looks pretty good also. I got this, as a flag breakout over here. A lot of times these IPOs, they dump after their opening day, right before the quiet period comes out. This one's been actually holding up, so I'd keep this on the list too. So, I mean, that's pretty much the, the end-all, end-all. So, top faves, ALNY, AAOY. If you're a little penny popper, you can try this ACHV. The BBY looks good. Suhas, this Sono is all right, man. Nothing too special, man. This thing got dusted on earnings. So who knows, like, when this thing starts to rebound. You know what I mean? We just don't know. That's going to be kind of one of the things to just keep an eye on. Is like, you don't know till you know, but you know what I mean, right? So AY, ALNY, ACHV, BBBY. Oh, yeah, we had CMTL. Good. All right, folks, let's go do what we do. As always, it's been a pleasure. Let's go out and make a little casholas. Remember, whenever you have a big list of stocks, always kind of come in, like, narrow them down to like a good 6. Narrow them down to a good 6. That way, you've got yourself a really, really kind of just strong watch list. You don't want to have too many damn stocks, otherwise it gets all over the place. Good, 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 good. As always, it's been real. It's been fun. It's been fast. Hasta mañana. Hasta la vista, my friends.